Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ramble number 4. I apologize if my voice sounds a little sleepy. Last night was daylight savings time, so it feels not so good to wake up, and I've been playing way too much RuneScape over this past week, which was my spring break. But I have a lot of progress with you guys to share because of how much I played, so I guess that's one good thing about it. Um, so I laid out like several goals in my last ramble. Um, the first one was that I was at Gauntlet, and I already had the uh, first blade of Seldor that I got, which I had to convert into the Bofa because the Bofa was just the obvious choice. It was much better at the time because you use the Bofa to complete God Wars basically. Um, but I had that blade, which I converted to a bow, but I wanted to go back for a second blade to take to ToB. So, and I think in the last ramble, I'm not sure what my KC was, but we did end up getting a second enhanced seed. I think I was around 320. So this is incredibly lucky. I mean, that's the drop rate for one enhanced, and I have two, so I'm really happy with that. I have a screenshot of it that I can show. Yeah, so this was on 402 KC. I didn't do any more after I got this, obviously. I don't hate Gauntlet, but it's definitely not my favorite piece of content in the game. Um, so I'm glad that basically I never have to come back here except to do the combat achievements, which will be fun, I think. I don't think that'll be annoying, really. Um, Gauntlet's just really repetitive and it's annoying to do a bunch of it, but I cannot complain with this log at all. That's pretty spooned, I'd say. Very happy that I basically never have to go back to Gauntlet. So that was the first goal that I got done. Now as far as skilling goes this month, I didn't do much skilling. I mentioned that I might want to get to base 90s, but I kind of got sucked into doing much more PVM goals. Um, I only have construction and smithing left for base 90s anyway. Um, and I sort of am putting these two skills off because Corp banked a lot of construction. It drops like mahogany logs and teak planks, and it gives you a lot of money from onyx bolts, which helps construction. And Fasani's Nightmare, which is sort of in the works in the coming months, drops like gold ore, so it'll be good for banking some smithing XP. So sort of thinking about it more macro efficiently, it makes sense to do some of these grinds which bank me passive XP and some of these skills so that I don't have to spend more time buying gold than I need to, because that's no fun. And I sort of prefer not doing shopscape. But we did do some skilling this past like month and a half, and mainly I got 99 herb lore. This was not difficult at all. I think even in my first ramble I mentioned that I had like 98 banked. I was sort of just putting this off until I had 99 banked in like the easiest potions. Like until I had like most of 99 banked in like Irits and Quarms. Um, and what else are easy potions? Like Bruise, Toadflax, and Bird Nest. And eventually I had so much XP banked in those herbs that I didn't have to grind any secondaries really. I made some like staminas and got some mushrooms for those, but pretty much like I didn't have to grind any secondaries, just stuff I had passively. White berries, limpwort roots, eye of newt, that sort of thing. So just decided to get that done. It only took a few days, so not the most impressive 99 I'd say anymore in an Ironman because of the farming guild, but still pretty good and definitely one of the slower 99s. It definitely requires you to be like consistent over a long period of time with herb runs, or alternatively to just do a bunch of chambers. But yeah, this is mostly from herb runs. I haven't done much chambers yet, so pretty happy with 99 herb lore. A historically difficult 99 to get on an Ironman, but nowadays not so much, but still cool nonetheless. Now the next goal in my last ramble that I stated was that I wanted to go to Barrows. In the last video I mentioned that I was missing some items to finish sets. I'm still missing the Derek's plate body and the Varric's flail, but I did end up getting the Carol's leather skirt, and I actually mentioned in my last ramble that if I got this item I would probably leave because I kind of wanted this for Corp, for the magic defense, and also for like melee necks, but I'll get to necks in a bit. I don't think I'm going to be doing melee necks really, even if I got a rapier from ToB. I still need these two items, and definitely the Derek's plate body because there's that Hydra combat achievement which requires full Derok, so I will definitely need to go back. And Varric's is, I guess, kind of useful, but to be honest, I'm not interested in doing Barrows. It's incredibly boring, but it's also pretty chill. So if I'm like feeling burnt or something, maybe I'll just go do some Barrows. I'm not sure. This is definitely pushed back on the priority list now that I have the Carol's leather skirt because that was the main thing that I wanted. And actually with Raids 3, Masori armor is coming out, which is going to usurp Carol's as best in slot magic defense with no melee negatives. So Masori is going to be busted. I'm really excited for that armor. I'm not sure about the other rewards from Raids 3. I think the wand could be better, but as far as the armor goes, I think it'll be awesome. So that's Barrows. Now the next thing I mentioned in my last ramble was that I wanted to do ToB, and I've never done ToB before. I have now, but in the last ramble I hadn't done ToB before, so I was a little bit nervous about learning it. I usually am pretty bad at like learning content quickly. I'm like a somewhat fast learner, but at the same time I make a lot of like dumb mistakes, and I just like it's easier to make mistakes in team content because you're like nervous and you don't want to let the team down or whatever. But actually I had tons of fun learning ToB, and I think that's because I mostly only went with my like friends and like potting voice Discord. Like it was pretty fun, and ToB is much more like, it seems faster paced than Chambers because at least the way I was doing Chambers, because I was like prepping potions and stuff. So ToB is definitely really fun, and I did end up getting lucky at ToB, and I got the Avernic at 22 KC, so I'll show this screenshot here. There it is. So yeah, doing a raid with some friends, and 22 KC, I get the Avernic, which I was really happy about. Yeah, there's not much to say. I think for this next month I will be doing more ToB, but it sort of just depends. Like if I have like friends online, if they're running ToB. I'm not probably gonna like spam all like ToBs in a row, just because that's not really how it's like possible to do, because it relies so much on having teammates. Same thing with necks. So I'll probably just do it here and there when I have the opportunity, and try not to like turn down people too much if they're running ToB, and just jump on every opportunity. I don't really have like a set goal with ToB. I would say getting the Sang would be like a great item to get, because that would make no prep solos at Chambers way easier, sort of more consistent. But I mean, obviously these two items would be great to have, but they're not really necessary. Obviously I will get them at some point. There's no question about that. I will not give up on any of these items, but yeah, those are long-term goals. So that is ToB. I am pretty addicted to ToB. I like it a lot, so pretty happy about that. Now, the thing that consumed the most amount of time this month, the thing that sucked up hours and hours of every day of my life for the past month straight, was the Corporeal Beast. And I mentioned that I wasn't going to grind out the arcane all in one go, um, because Corp is just such a long grind, and I don't want to like burn out from just doing Corp over and over and over because it's not the most engaging content in the world, that's for sure. Um, I think in my last ramble I mentioned that I was going to do 500 Corp, and something happened which changed the plans a little bit, and I ended up doing 1,000 Corp, um, which is a lot of Corp. That's about, I think, like 175 hours of Corp. It's probably only, I would need to check Temple, but I think it's only like 150 efficient hours. But I'm not sure what method they use for the Corp EHB because I was getting like 6 to 7 kills an hour, and I uploaded a video of the method I was doing. And that was like if I was like full focused, 7 kills an hour for sure. So like 1,000 divided by 7. Let me just pull up the calculator so I don't have to use my brain. What am I doing? I forget how to use a calculator. My brain has turned to mashed potatoes over the course of this break. Okay, 142 hours. So, yeah, I guess it is closer to like 150 hours. So, I would say probably close to 150 hours of Corp this past month. And once I started doing Corp, I did not stop, and I did nothing in the game other than Corp for basically like probably at least 20 days straight. So I'm pretty sick of Corp at the moment, but we did get rewarded. And the reason why I did more than 500 Corp was because of this drop, which I got at 243 kill count. So this was the first sigil. This was the spectral. And I was really happy to get a sigil at all, even if it is a spectral. And actually, the spectral has gotten a lot more useful because of Nex. It's quite good to take into like a 6-man range camp setup, just because it has that effect of reducing Nex's prayer drain, and it has pretty high defense. Like if a lot of people on your team are wearing bucklers and you're wearing a spectral, you'll get focused way less by Nex and take less damage, which is always good. So yeah, it's a good item to have, I'd say. I think any of the Corp shields are sort of like a nice flex on an Ironman, of course. They sort of show that you're a psycho and willing to kill Corp hundreds or thousands of times. I was initially going to keep track of like the elixirs and everything, but I ended up getting quite a few elixirs and shields and everything, so I just decided whatever, like I'll just keep track of the sigils. So I decided once I got this sigil that I wanted to try to get to like a drop, like a kill count that would give me at least a chance of like another sigil, like a decent chance. So I decided to go to 1,000. The sigil drop rate is 1 in 585, and I think it's like, I'm not sure on this, but I think it's 3 out of 7 once you hit that table to get either the spectral or the arcane, and then it's 1 in 7 to get to roll the Ellie off that table. So like 585, it's not quite the drop rate of 2, but it's closer. So I did end up getting a second sigil, and it was another spectral. At 888. If any of you watch Behemoth, there's actually a clip of this. I was streaming my Corp on Twitch a little bit, and I ended up getting this on stream, which was pretty cool. My reaction was not not like the best reaction ever. Like I don't even know why he included it. Like he just randomly messaged me with the clip and was like, "Hey, can I put this in the video?" And I was like, "Sure." But I don't know why. It wasn't like some amazing clip. I didn't like freak out or anything. I was just like, oh my god. And then I was like, fuck. It's another spectral. Damn it. Yeah, so 2 spectrals. It could be worse. I mean, I could have no sigils very easily in 1,000. So I can't complain too much with having 2 spectrals. It is what it is. I just really don't want to end up like Sebe, who went like 3,000 almost dry before getting his arcane, or who I think was even worse was Travis42, who got like 7 spectrals before getting his arcane. But he got an Ellie, so who cares? That's like, once you get an Ellie, you're just automatically a spoon no matter what, because like it's very easy to just never get an Ellie. Like going over 10,000 Corp for an Ellie is just like, I don't know. I'm not sure I would ever do that. So that was Spectral number 2, and I have in my inventory some of the notable drops. So I mentioned I stopped keeping track of the elixirs and everything because I ended up getting enough to make all the sigils and some dupes. So I ended up getting 83,000 cannonballs over the course of the grind and about 40 mil worth of onyx bolts. So pretty worth it. So, and obviously the 2 spectrals, and this is rising, the price is rising, so I'll probably drop one of these over to an alt for some bonds, I guess, or just like alt GP to like split stuff at Chambers or ToB or whatever. So yeah, that is basically what I've accomplished over the past month, mostly Corp. Combat Achievements Collections log. Let me go show the Corp log. So yeah, 1,000, very clean looking, quite a grind. I'm obviously not done with Corp, but I'm definitely done until I at least get full Inquisitor, until they remove the damage cap at Corp, which they're going to do. And maybe I'll even wait until after Rage 3 and after I get like that new Asmumpton's Fang, which comes out, which will be, I guess, best in slot Corp. Nobody really knows, but I think it will be. At least it'll be better than a Zamorakian Spear. So that is Corp. So now for the goals for the next month. Let me bring up the plan, the trusty plan document. So I changed the goals a little bit from the last video. After doing 1K Corp, I thought it would be cool to just go to the other grind, which everybody hates and no one wants to do, which is Phosani's Nightmare, and do 1,000 of that, just to sort of like flex the clean KCs in both of those. And it would be great to get full Inquisitor in that 1,000 to go back to Corp. I calced it with my friend, and it's like something like 15%. I don't have the calculations up right now, but I think it's like 15% more accuracy on your first Dragon Warhammer spec, which is pretty big if you're wearing Inquisitors over like Dwarven Helm and Mythcape and all that. So definitely, like, I would say worth to get before grinding out the Arcane, because at this point I'm fairly certain I'm going to go dry on the Arcane, not getting it in 1,000. I just have a feeling that I'm going to have to go several thousand for the Arcane, so better to do the remainder of my Corp grind in more efficient gear. So that means Nightmare. There's some prep that'll go along with that. It was very easy to spam like 1,000 Corp just because it requires basically no supplies. However, Phosani's Nightmare definitely requires supplies. It sucks up a lot of Zora scales for the Toxic Trident on the Pillar phase. And also I use Anglers as food. There's some Herblore and stuff that I need to do. And also, this Granite Maul Ornate is the best in slot spec weapon. Claws are also pretty good, but I think before I go to Chambers, I'll just do some LMS for the Ornate Maul handle first, because I think it'll be pretty good. And I haven't done LMS before, but I think it'll be kind of fun. Who knows? So that's one goal that I have. Next, I want to finish off 500 Chambers, solo Chambers. Mostly I just want to do this to have a chance at getting Claws or Ancestral as upgrades for Nightmare. So I'll probably do like these grinds sort of side by side, Nightmare and Chambers. In addition, I mentioned that basically whenever anyone hits me up for ToB, I'll do it. Just because I need to do ToB, so that'll happen. And sort of the same thing with Nex. I've been doing some like range camp 6-man Nex, and Nex is an extremely long grind as well, so I'm sort of just doing that whenever I have the chance to. So those are basically the goals. I don't think I'll be doing much skilling this next month. I guess you never know. maybe I'll finally finish off the base 90s. But as far as that goes, I don't think there's like any pressing skilling thing that I really want to do at the moment. I'm pretty into PVM, so I want to take advantage of like this brief period of addiction to PVM. And then, I don't know, once I burn out of PVM, maybe it'll be Nightmare that finally burns me out of PVM. And then I'll finally want to go max. But until then, those are my goals. That is what I accomplished this past month. I'm definitely happy I stuck with Corp and grinded out that much KC. I was doing like 50 to 70 kills per day, which is a ton. So I hope you guys enjoyed this ramble. I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress that I got. I'm definitely happy to have like completely finished Gauntlet, picked up some useful items, got my first ToB item, got these two flex items, which is pretty nice. It's a pretty good fashionscape item, I'd say. Looking like a beast. Hopefully I get the Arcane or the Ellie before, I don't know, like 10,000 KC. We'll see. But yeah, as far as the goals for next month, it'll be Fasani's Nightmare. So I've done 40 kills so far, not too much, just like learning the boss. I'm still pretty bad at it. I still die and like get tilted and rage quit. But I'll get better, definitely. And chasing these Inquisitor pieces, and it would be great to get the mace as well. So I'll be grinding some Chambers and Nightmares side by side, and ToB and next whenever it comes up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this ramble. I hope you enjoyed seeing the progress that I made. The next one, I'm not sure when it'll be. I have some sort of lengthy goals now to work towards and some slower grinds. So this past month, it was like a little over a month for this ramble. It sort of just depends on how lucky I get with items when I have like a decent amount of progress to share with you guys. So I'm not sure. It all sort of depends on the RNG. But I'd say like there will definitely be a ramble when I hit 1,000 Fasanis or when I hit like 500 Chambers and have some drops to share. Because if I didn't have drops to share in that KC, then there would be something horrible that happened. It would be very unlucky. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, whenever it may be. Until then, I hope you guys are doing very well. Please leave a comment about what you're doing in the game. I love to hear about it, about what you accomplished in the past month or two. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.